Okay, grade 11s. I have a 2-point perspective drawing question over here. This is page 43. I took this question from the JPEGD workbook for grade 11. Okay, step number one, obviously, I have to find the two vanishing points, the LVP and the right vanishing point, which is the RVP. And obviously, for me to find the two vanishing points, I'll take my 45 degrees set square and check the angle there from the top view. As you can see, that line aligns with the 45 degrees set square, even this line this side. So this angle over here is 45 degrees and this angle over here, so these two angles are equal. That equals to 45 degrees. Okay, so now obviously I have to construct a line from the station point using my 45 degrees set square. So obviously I will draw a line up to the picture plane up there. So I'll just project that point up to the picture plane over there. And from there I'll have to drop this point down to the horizon line, the HL. So as you can see, the HL is right over here. So obviously when I get this point, I have to drop that point down to the horizon line. So I have my LVP over there, so I can label that point LVP. Okay, so now I'll have to find the RVP, the right vanishing point. So I have to project this point, the station point, up to the picture plane using my 45 degrees set square. So just draw a line up to the picture plane there. Then from there I have to drop down this point. I'll have to drop that point down to the HL. So I have my RVP over there, so I have to label my point RVP. Okay, so now I have my two vanishing points, my LVP and my RVP. So obviously I'll go back to my question. I'm given the top view of the building, the left view of the building, and the right view of the building. And normally I start with the section that is higher than all the sections. So if I look at this elevation, I can see that, okay, I have this section here. What's this? This is the chimney. So the chimney is taller than all the sections of the building, all the parts of the building. As you can see, the roof starts over there, and obviously the chimney is higher than the roof. So I'll start with the chimney. So if I check there, the points for the chimney are right over there at the top there. There is no point that is on the picture plane. So what I have to do now, I'll have to extend this line down to the picture plane, and also this line I'll have to extend it to the picture plane over there. So I'll just extend this line down to the picture plane, and this line as well. Why? Because I'm trying to draw the chimney. And then from there I'll have to project the height of the chimney from one of the two elevations. So I'll just project this height towards this 2 points over there. So obviously this 2 points I'll have to drop them down to this height of the chimney there. So I'll just project this point down to this line and take this point as well down to this line. So now I have those two angles, not angles, sorry, I have those 2 points. So obviously I'm trying to draw the top section of the chimney. So now my focus is on those 2 points. I'll have to take those 2 points to my LVP. Why LVP? Why to the LVP? Because if I look at those two lines from here going up, this line goes towards my left vanishing point, or my left side. So I'll have to take those 2 points to my LVP there. So I'll just project this point down to the LVP like that, and that point as well like that. So now my focus is on those two lines. So obviously I'll have to try and get find this 4 points over here. So obviously I have to take these points to the station point first. I'll start with this point there, take it to the SP, this point as well, and that point there at the corner. Okay, then from here I have to project them down, take them down. So obviously this line, on this line I have these 2 points, right? That means I'll use these two lines that I've projected to the SP. So obviously the 2 points will be on this line, right? So I'll take this down to that line, and I'll take this point down to that line. So that means this point is right over there, and this one is right over there. Okay, perfect. What about this point over there? So I'll use this line for that point, right? So that point is right over there, so I'll have to take it down to that line. So that means that point, this point is right there. So now if I check here, I can just connect these points, right? So now I can just connect these 3 points. So I'll just connect those two, because we have a line there and then we have a line there. So I can just connect those 2 points like that. Okay, so if you check, right, we won't see this surface, this top surface. Why? Because the vanishing points are just down there. So that means the top, we can't see the top section, which is this section. We can't see it from our 2-point perspective drawing. So that means this point is hidden. That point will be at the back of the chimney. Okay, from here, because I have these points, I can just draw vertical lines like this, like that, like that. Okay, so this is the chimney right there. So now I'll just try and get this point over there, because if we look at this elevation, because now I do have these 2 points on my drawing, right? So I'll try and get this point and this point. Okay, so this point, let me just label this point number 1, and this is point number 2 over there. So this is 1, this is 2. So from point number 1, I have a vertical line up to there. So now I'll have to try and find the height of this section, right? Okay, so I'll use the same line, this line, because already I've extended this line to the picture plane. Then from there I'll just take it down. So let me just project the height of this section. So I'll just project this height towards that line there. Which line? This line that I've extended there. So I'll have to take it down to that height. So I'll just take it down to that height over there. So where's the height? The height is right there. So now I'll just take this point to the LVP. Like that. Okay, so if you look here, because I do have point number 1, this is point number 1, this is point number 1 from the elevation, right? And I'm trying to find those 2 points. Already I have this point now. Where is it? That point is right over there. So this point there is right there. Okay, so now because I was trying to get these 2 points, where is this point from the top view? That point is right there. So I'll have to take this point to the station point as well. I'll have to project that down there, and then drop it down to that line. So that point, this point is this one. So now I can just draw this L shape there, like that. Okay, so now I do have these 2 points right over there. Okay, perfect. So now I can just uh, try and get this point, the base point right there, ne? Okay, so this point from the top, where is it? It's right over there. So already I have projected a line down, and then now I'll try and get uh, the height of this point. Where is it? That height is right there. So I'll just project this to my left side. Okay, so I'll use the same line, this line. I'll have to extend that line down to the height of the stoop, maybe this one here. So where they intersect, it's a point, so I'll take this point to my LVP. So I'll just take this point to the LVP like that. Okay, and then obviously I can just take this point down to that line that I've drawn now, like that. So you see this vertical line, that vertical line is right there, up to there. Okay, and then from there I have a line that goes towards my right hand side. So that line, I think, is right there. I can just take those two, this point, so I can just connect those two like that. Okay, and then obviously even from point 2 I have a vertical line up to that level there, so I can just draw this vertical line like that. Okay, and then obviously when I look from this elevation, this line, where is it? That line is this one. Okay, if you check, I also have a line as well this side, so that line will be somewhere here on this line, right? But first I'll have to take this point to the RVP. So I can just take this point to my RVP just like that. Okay, and then now I can just draw that line up to there. So just draw this vertical line up to there. Okay, just like that. Okay, and when you look at this elevation, you can see that, okay, I have some rectangles there. Why? It's because this is like an opening, it goes in. If we move to this elevation, you can see that we have hidden detail lines there, so that means this is what an opening, it goes all the way in up to that section there. So this is what an opening up to there. So I'll just leave this section for now and go back and try and draw the roof, because I'm almost done with the chimney. I'm left with this openings only for the chimney. So now I'll just go back and try and draw the roof. Okay, so when it comes to the roof, I'll start with this section right here. So now I'll start with the highest point. I'll start this with this point over there. So where is this point from this elevation? The point is right there. So for me to get the height of the roof, obviously I'll have to extend this line to the picture plane. So I'll just extend that line down to the picture plane, and then draw a vertical line. And then where is the height of the roof from the elevation? So the height of the roof is right there, so I can just project that height to this line. So I have a point there. Okay, so now obviously I have to project this point to one of those two vanishing points. So I'll go back to my line there. So because I'm busy with this point, I'm trying to get this point right. Okay, from this point going up, you can see that this line it goes towards my right hand side, right? So that means I can take this point to my RVP. Why? Because this line goes up towards my right hand side. So I'll just project this point to the RVP like that. Okay, so now my focus is on this line. Remember, I'm trying to get this point, so now I can just take this point to the station point like that, and then from there I project this point to that line. So that means this point is right there, right? Okay, so now I do have this point, so now I'll try and get these 2 points. So this point already is on the picture plane, so I can just draw a vertical line from there. Okay, and where are those 2 points from the elevation? Those 2 points are right there. So I will just project this height of the roof to that height line there, and then from there I'll take this point to my LVP. Why? Because this line goes to the left side of my drawing. Okay, so I'll just take that point to the LVP, the left vanishing point, like that. Okay, and then I'll take this point to the station point. So I'll project that point down to the station point, and then from there I project that point to this line there. So that means this point is right there, and then what about this point? This point is there, right? So I have 1, 2, 3 points. So those points are this 3 over there. Okay, so if I check, obviously I have this triangle there, so I can just produce or draw this the triangle right on my drawing there. Remember, I'm drawing the roof of the building, so now I have this section. Okay, so because now I have these points, let me just try and get these 2 points there. Okay, so where is this point from my drawing? That point is right there, so I can just project that point to my RVP. But if you check, already I have a line there, so that means this point is somewhere on this line, right? So I will have to take this point to the station point first. Okay, like that. Okay, so this point is right there, so I can just connect these 2 points over there. Okay, so now I do have this point. Let me just try and get this point, because now I do have this point, it's right there, so I can just project this point to my RVP. So I'll just take this point to the RVP there, and then I'll just take this point to the station point, and if you check, the station point is on line with that point, so this will be a vertical line. So this point is right there. Okay, so now I can just connect those points, so that means I have this section. So I'll just connect those points like that. Like that. Okay, good, perfect. So now I do have this points now. Let me just try and get this point, and this point is on the picture plane. I'll just draw a vertical line there, like that. And then where's this point from my elevation? This point is right there, it's this one, so I can just take this point to that vertical line there, this vertical line. So that means the point is right there. Okay, so now I do have this point. So now let me just take this point to my LVP. Why my LVP? Because from this point there is a line that goes towards my left hand side. So I'll just take this point to the LVP. So I'll take this to the LVP, and if you check, that line passes through that point. So obviously this point is this one, right? So I can just connect these 2 points. So just connect these 2 points like that. Good. Okay, so do I have this point? Yes, I do have this point. Where is that point on my drawing? That point is right there. So I can just connect these 2 points. Why? Because from this point there is a line that goes up. It's this line here from this elevation. It's this line from this point to that point. So I can just connect those 2. So now let me just try and find this line on my drawing there. So what I can do is, I can see that, okay, this point is at the back behind this part of the chimney. So what I can do, because I do have this point on my drawing is right there, what I can do, I can just align those 2 points, the LVP and that point. Then from there I'll just draw a construction line and extend that line up to there. So that means this line is right there. I'll draw it there because this point is at the back that side, so it's fine. I can just draw this section. So I'll just close this gap there like that. Okay, so I'm almost done with the roof. So because I have this point, right, this point is this one. So what about this point of the roof, this part? So where is this point from the top view? That point is right there. So let me just try and take this point to the station point first. I want to see if I'll see this point on my drawing. So as you can see, the point is right there. And then I'll just take it down. So you can see that, okay, this line is inside the chimney there. So that means I won't be able to see this point on my drawing. Okay, that's fine. So let me just take this point to my RVP like that. So this point is right there. So we can't see that point or that corner, so I'll leave it as it is. Okay, so now I'll go back to my 2 elevations. As you can see, I have this part, right? What's this? This is the fascia board, I think. So I'll have to add it here, somewhere there, on my roof. So, okay. I'll just project the height of that line to this line there, right? So I'll just project this height horizontally to this line, okay? And then from there, because this line is for this corner there, okay, so I'll use this line. So because I have a point there, I can just take this point to the LVP. So I'll just take it to the LVP like that. So that means I have this part of the roof, it's right there. So from this side I can just connect these points like that, okay, because now I have this point, right, and that point is right there, and the roof line, it goes up towards my right hand side. So I can just take this point to the RVP. So just take it to the RVP. So that means this fascia board here, it's right there. Where is it? It's right there. So I can just draw it there, but up to this corner, because that corner is this one. So just draw that line up to there. And then from here, because now I'm at this corner, and this line, if you check this line, from here it goes up to the left side, right? So I can just align this point with this vanishing point like this, and then draw a line across that point, draw a line up to there. So I can just draw my fascia board right there. Okay, then here it's just a vertical line. So do I have a fascia board here? No, so I'll leave it like that here. So okay, I think I'm done with the roof now. So this is the complete roof of this building. Okay, so now I will just move to this section. I'll try and draw this wall, including that window there, that opening there. Okay, so now as you can see, obviously this wall starts where? It starts down there on the ground line, and obviously if I project this line, that means I'll have a point there for this corner, right? So this surface, where is it from the top view? That surface is on this line, right? Okay, so I will use this height line for this section of the building. So I have a point there, so I'll have to take this point to the LVP. Why? Because this line goes up towards my left hand side, right? So I'll take this point to the LVP like that, and then I'll have to obviously drop down the point. Already I have a line, so I'll just extend this line down to that one, so I can just draw this wall. So that wall is right there. Okay, just like that. Okay, so now I'll have to try and draw this window. So obviously I'll have to project this height of the window to this line, and also this height of the window to this line. Okay, so that means I have 2 points, 1 and 2. So I'll have to take these 2 points to the LVP. So that point will be there. Okay, so I have a line there. And then also this point, I'll have to take it to the LVP, just like that. And then now I'll have to go back and project those points down. So first I'll have to take them to the station point. Like that, and then draw vertical lines there. So now I do have my window there. So obviously remember I projected this point down to the LVP, so that means I have a point there, and then for this one, that point is right there. Okay, and then the bottom section, I took this point to the LVP, that means I'll have a point there and a point there. Then I connect these 4 points like that, like that. Okay, so this is the window, but I'm not done. I'll have to draw the window frame. Okay, so from here I'll just take these 2 points to the RVP. So I'll start with this corner of the window, take it to the RVP, and also the top corner there, take it to the RVP. Okay, so now I'll have to take this point to the SP first, to the station point first, like that, and then drop it down there. Okay, so I can just draw that window frame there, but obviously there I'll have a line like that, and then also the top part there, take it down to there, and then this point there, I'll have to like draw a line down like that. Okay, let me see the top one. Okay, even this one there, I have to draw a line there. Okay, so now I'm done with this window. I can just proceed to this wall now. Okay, so now I'll just try and draw this wall over there. Okay, so now if you check, I have like two lines there. This is the ground level and this is the floor level, right? So obviously I can't take this point to the RVP and then just connect that wall there. I can't, because that wall starts over there on that height there. So I'll have to take this height to this vertical line. So I will just project that height to this vertical line, and then from there I can just take this point to the RVP. So I'll just take this point to the RVP. Then now I can just draw the wall. So my wall will start up there down to that line, then it goes back to this corner there, right? Okay, so now I'm done with this wall. Now I'll move and try and draw this wall now. So where is this wall from these two elevations? This wall is right there, right? And if you check, I have what? A door there, an opening there. So let me just start with this opening there. So where is it from the top? The opening is right there. So I have to take this points down to the station point first. So I'll just project the point down to there and take this point as well down there, and then from there I just draw vertical lines like that. Okay, so the opening is right somewhere there, because now I have these two vertical lines. Let me just try and get what? The height of that opening of that door. So okay, so I can just extend this line down to the picture plane, but already I have a line there. So I'll just project the height of the opening to this vertical line, right? So I'll just take this height to that vertical line there. So I have a point over there, and then from there I'll just take this point to the LVP, the left vanishing point. So I'll just take the down to the LVP. So I have this point over there and I have this point over there. So I can just connect those two. So this is the height of the door. Okay, perfect. And then now I'll have to find this bottom part, right? Okay, so I can just project this height of the stoop as well to that vertical line. So that height is right, it's right there. And then I can just take this point back to the LVP. So I'll project the point to the LVP. So this door will start there and this part will start there. Okay, so now I can just draw these two vertical lines on my perspective drawing, like that. Okay, perfect. So now I can just connect these two like that, and even there's 2 points there like that, and then draw this vertical line. That vertical line is this one there, so I can just draw this vertical line. Okay, So now I do have my opening. I'll just try and draw the door frame now. So because I have this point, I have to take it to the RVP. I'm trying to draw the door frame now. Take it there, and then obviously I'll take this point down to the station point, like that, and then project that point down. Okay, so this is my door frame right over there. Okay, so this is my door frame. So now I can also connect those two points there. So I have to connect there, because this is what a wall. It's this wall over there. Okay, so now I do have this opening. I do have that window. So if I look at this elevation, if I look at this section, this part, you can see that, okay, I have two lines, the ground line and this line. Why do I have this line up to there? So now I'll have to check from the top view. You can see that, okay, there's a line all the way to there, and there is also a line going up. Why do I have those lines? It's because this is what? This is a stoop there outside the building, and also there we have what? A stoop there up to that corner there, right? So now I'll just, obviously the stoop starts there and it ends there, right? And these 2 points are on the picture plane, so that means I have this line where, right there. So I can just project this corner down and this one down. So that means the stoop will start there and end somewhere there, right? Okay, so I can just bring this point down to there. So the stoop will start there and end somewhere there. So now I can just draw a straight line from here all the way to that point there. Okay, and then I can just take this point to the LVP. Okay, so I'll take this, but no, I don't have to take this point to the LVP, because if you check this line, it's vertical, right? It goes up, but I'll have to get this point first. So where is this point on my drawing? So I have projected this point down to the station point. That line is right there, so I have a vertical line there. Okay, so if I take this up to the RVP where the two lines intersect, that means that corner is right there, right? So now I can just take this point to that point, right? But this line, the line that I'll have to draw now, must end on this line of the chimney there. So I'll just draw a line up to there. So this is the stoop. So this line is this line. Okay, perfect. So now let me see. Is there something that I'll have to add? Okay, I will have to add a line inside there. It's for this line. So okay, I do have this corner, it's this corner. So if I take that corner to the LVP, so I will see an edge through that door. So I can just draw a line there like that. Okay, and then that's the only thing that I'll see through this opening and this opening right there. Okay, perfect. So now I'll go back to my chimney and try and draw this two openings, right? So those two openings must be somewhere here. So okay, as you can see, I have hidden detail lines there. Okay, perfect. So let me just extend those two lines, because I'll try and get those 2 points, right? Okay, so I'll have to extend those 2 lines down to the picture plane. So I'll just extend that down to there, and also that line down to there. Okay, then now I have to draw 2 vertical lines, and also that one. Okay, so where is the height of that section? So I'll have to project that height to those 2 lines that I've drawn now. Okay, so where is that line? That line is right there, so that means I have a point there. Let me use my red marker there. Okay, and this line, that means I have a point over there. Okay, so those 2 points, I'll have to take them to my LVP. So I'll start with this point. So actually those points are on the horizon line already, so it's like it's a horizontal line like that. Okay, so now I'll have to take those 2 points to my station point. So I'll just take those 2 points to the station point. Okay, so that first line is right over there. So that means I have the first point there. Okay, and then the second one, where is it? The second one is right there. So that means I'll have a point right there. So those 2 points are right there, so I can just connect the 2 like that. Okay, and then what about this height? So I can just project this height to those 2 lines, this lines. So I'll just project this 2 to this line, so that means I have a point there and a point there, right? So I will take those 2 points to the LVP. So I'll start with this one over there, take this point up to the LVP, and then I'll take that point as well to the LVP. Okay, my focus will be on those 2 lines, right? Okay, and then I will just extend this vertical lines. Actually I have to just project them all the way to the stoop level there, like that. Okay, so the line that I've drawn now, it's there, and then this point, that line is right there. So now I can just draw that rectangle there, like that, like that, right? Okay, so now let me just try and get this opening. Now I'm done with this one, but remember I can just see an edge there. So what I can do is I can just project that corner there to the left vanishing point, but that line will end where? On that vertical line there. Okay, so now I have to project this height to those 2 vertical lines there, right? I do the same thing, take those 2 to those 2 vertical lines. So I have a point right there and a point there. Okay, so I have to take those 2 points to the left vanishing point. So take the point there up to the vanishing point, and also that point there up. Okay, so that means I have a point there, and then for this point I have a point right over there, so I can just connect the 2 points, right? So I can just connect the 2 points, and then I have these two not vanishing points, these 2 vertical lines. This point is right there, and this point is right there, so I can just draw these vertical lines down to the stoop there, like that. And then now I can just connect those 2 points and that point there. And then now I'll have to take this corner to the LVP, and draw a line there, like that. Okay, so now I think I'm done with my 2-point perspective. Let me just check what's left. I have this section, it's this one, and then the chimney. I have those 2 openings, okay, and this wall is right there, this opening is right there, this opening is this one over there, the roof, I have it there, this section is right there, chimney. So yeah, so this is the complete 2-point perspective for this page 43.